Hey guys, Zell here, welcome back to more Fate Grand Order. It is now time to start Sin once again. Into the storm. Now, I know I was told about needing to finish this before a certain time. I just didn't know when that was, so I ended up looking it up. It wasn't Christmas, thank God. Otherwise, I'd be completely screwed. I don't know when Christmas event is coming out either, but apparently it's a New Year's event, supposedly, that I read, is what I need to finish this for. So I'm in all kinds of trouble if I don't finish it. Well, not really, because then it might have a rerun, I don't know. Probably not, since it's New Year's, maybe. Hey, we're back here. Emerging from long-distance zero sail now. Whoa, we nailed the positioning. I can see the supercell surrounding this Lostbelt 1,000 meters straight ahead. Wow. Impressive. Even if this precision is only possible when embarking from the wandering sea, it is quite something to behold. What's more, Miss Shion tells me that we can expect this level of precision anywhere except the North and South Poles. Unfortunately, we may have been a little too precise at this distance. Our only choice is to head straight into the storm wall immediately. Mr. Gordolf, how are you? It would seem his fear of the poison has more or less overwhelmed him. He will not be of much use for the time being. What is he ever of use anyways? I don't mean to be harsh, but... How about you, Miss Cell? Are you ready for this next phase? Yes, I think so. Good. Miss Shion was kind enough to make some significant improvements to your Mystic Code. It should be a good deal more useful both in keeping you alive and in aiding your performance as a master. I'll explain more once we arrive in the Lostbelt, but yes, Miss Kiriraito, is something the matter?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm good to go as well. I did feel the same warmth during that last zero sail as I did in Scandinavia, but... Okay, guys, that's enough. Ready or not, we're embarking on another zero sail. We don't want to burn the board as fuel unless we really have to, so I'm going to take advantage of the inertia we got by launching from the Wandering Sea. We'll be emerging inside the Lostbelt without anything to guide us, just like we did in Scandinavia. Oh, well, what's this now? Good news, Gordy, it looks like Queen Sky is inside the Chinese Lostbelt too.
She is? Are you sure about that, Da Vinci?
Yep, I got a pretty solid sample of her data yesterday, so there's no mistaking it. Now we can kill two birds with one stone. Not only will this greatly improve our odds of emerging from void space, we can also ask her about an antidote once we capture her.
Capture Koyanskaya. Why do I feel like that's not going to either be possible or it's going to be... Either way, Tamama Vici. I was not really expecting that. I mean, she does kind of look like her. I mean, did kind of, which is, well, she is.
Manure, set the anchor point from hypothetical living human to Koyanskaya.
Got it. But man, as if I didn't already have my hands full with driving this thing. Damn it. There's one I could have used the old man's help. So Queen Sky is in the Chinese Lostbelt too. I wonder if she really has an antidote. Very well then. In this light of new information, I believe a new course of action is in order. We should cancel our search for Zhang Shui Ming Mai in favor of capturing Koyanskaya. I am never going to be able to say that. That would be a much surer way of neutralizing the poison Grodolphin cell consumed. And it would be one less threat to our future endeavors. As for the crypto and the Tree of Emptiness, our goals there would remain unchanged. We find and restrain the former and cut down the latter. Would that be acceptable to you, Director? Yes, of course. That sounds great. Indeed, this is no time to be traveling and fight. No more, Mr. Nice Guy, Tamamovici, Koinskaya. The next time we meet, I'll see you pay for everything you've done.
Phone. Hey now, don't get ahead of yourself, Gordy. You still have to capture her first, remember? And even if we succeed at that, it won't amount to anything if we can't make her tell us where to find or how to make the antidote. Understood. I will hold back, however. I will not show her mercy. We should at least berate her right after capturing her. It is best if we beat this villain so that she can, never again, stand up or engage in any evil schemes. China is my home. My Lostbelt or not, its air and land should remain the same. As such, I should have no trouble defeating this demon. Thank you, Nessa. It's great to have your help.
Alright, we're now only 400 meters away from the storm wall. Do it, Da Vinci.
Expanding logic formula and shadow borders external armor. Moving existence verification for reality space. Future prediction. Hypothetically prove mere world plane in 20 seconds. Relaxing space and friction decompression for 0.4 seconds. All systems are green. Point space observations remain locked at previous results. Shadow border untethered from reality. Point space dive. Zero sail unfurl once again.
It's pretty neat every time I see it. Oh man. Here it is! My new thumbnail as well for the next however many episodes. The Crimson Beauty Under the Moon, the Synchronized Intellect Nation Sin. Oh, that's why it's called Sin. You know, now that I see that was only like 7 minutes long. I possibly could have put that in the last episode. Whatever. The third Lostbelt. We're fighting Sabers. And we got Nezha to help us against this. They said Marsh is a starting member. Okay, so we are forced to fight with Marsha and Nezha. My God. Well, if anything, where exactly is it? Right here. Actually, no. Put a kaleidoscope on Marsh. Just so we can get her Noble Phantasm, just in case. Section 1. The third Lostbelt.
You say you thought you had a dream, that it might have been some kind of sign. And that's absurd reasoning has you drinking poison from a chalice.
So you think it's foolish too, huh? My wife said the same thing. His Imperial Majesty himself gave me this poison. All I need do is drain it in a single gulp and I will displease him no more. I have slain too many for one in my position. You might say I've outlived my usefulness.
I don't understand. None of this would have happened if not for how petty the Emperor is. How can you be willing to lay down your life for a man like that?
You may not see any sense in it, but this is simply what it means to be a warrior.
Once I heard you were going to die, I had to come and ask. Say the word and I will see everyone who toyed with your destiny, who forces hollow loyalty upon you, drown in a sea of their own blood.
I'm honored you are so angry on my behalf. It's more than I deserve, and I will admit that I do have my share of regrets. But at this point, I've truly come to believe this is a fitting end to the life of Gao Shanggong.
I don't understand. The way you talk of life and death makes no sense whatsoever. But then, I suppose I could never understand, as death is a concept that's never had meaning to me.
Ah yes, that's true, isn't it? Perhaps, if anything, I should be the one begging you for forgiveness. After all, the peace I will attain in death will be forever beyond your reach.
Perhaps I'm jealous. Jealous of your death and of the brilliance of your life leading up to it.
You are too kind, I assure you. I know no more of death's secrets than you do. Even should I learn them now, they will soon be lost to darkness.
Do you have any last wishes?
Good question. If I could wish for something beyond my own death, it would be to someday see you again. I suppose such a wish must sound completely absurd.
Not necessarily. I've seen the likes of you shatter more daunting barriers. I have seen them tame lightning, cure plagues, and even change the course of rivers. I cannot say how long it will take, but eventually the day may come when those bound by mortal lives learn to reach beyond even death. Should such a day come to pass, and if I am lucky enough to be there to see it, then I shall recall your final wish.
Ah, you don't know how happy I am to hear that. In all my 33 years of life, there's nothing I've treasured more than your presence. I'm assuming that those two, the man and the woman, are the ones on the banner. The first one. Well, I'm pretty sure it's the man that was on the first banner because of the mask. The woman, on the other hand, probably is, or it might be the woman in the second one.
Reality space anchor attached. Reality verification complete. Proper human history resemblance to Lostbelt FD. Establishing Shadow Border's existence within Lostbelt Zero Sale return successful. I'm glad we had another emergence that went so smoothly. How are you feeling, Senpai? I know the poison isn't causing you any pain right now, but also hurts you not feeling entirely yourself.
I'm fine, just a little short of breath, is all. So cold symptoms are the worst of it for you. Are they? Must be nice, I'll have you know I used to have asthma when I was a young lad. But after I've read the memoirs of a great bodybuilder, actor, and politician who once suffered from the same disease, I followed his example and overcame it with rigorous training. Though sadly I don't have his muscle to show for it. I wonder why. My point, young lady, is that all you need is gumption. There is no time to let your fears get the better of you. Yes, I must say, it's almost encouraging to see our commander so energetic despite his poisoning.
Yep, we've still got plenty of time to find a cure, and Gordy's amazed so he's pretty well accustomed to dire threats like this. Now let's see what things look like outside. Whoa! 18 degrees Celsius, 30% humidity, gentle breeze, no unusual magical energy readings.
I'm looking out the window right now, and it looks like a field. I gotta say, I'm almost creeped out by how normal it seems here compared to the other two Lostbelts. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Are there any hostiles outside?
Not according to our instruments. Since it looks like it's safe, why don't we all go see for ourselves?
Whoa. Is this really the Chinese Lostbelt?
Foe! Latitude and longitude don't lie. We're standing right at 32 degrees 40 north, 110 degrees 50 east. In proper human history, this would be Xi'an, a major city with a population of 3.4 million people. Well, this is certainly not a city, but it doesn't look like untamed wilderness either.
Perhaps it is a wheat field or the like. Admittedly, it would be an extraordinarily large one.
I recognize the smell. In the air, here, this is my homeland. And yet I have no memory of this strange landscape. How confusing and depressing. It seems I am useless as a guide for you after all. Hey, don't worry about it. All bets are off when it comes to Lostbelt. Besides, we have a much bigger role for you to play than just a guide. For the moment, I've picked up a ley line only a kilometer or so away from here. Between that and how surprisingly safe this area looks to be, I'd say we're off to a pretty good start. Now, what do you say we take the shadow border and lay it to the ley line and set up a summoning circle?
Got it. I'll go warm up the engine then. You can never be too prepared for combat in these Lostbelts. Hey, you got that right.
Okay, the ley line's right around that well. Go ahead and park it here. It certainly doesn't look like a dangerous area, but something feels off. True, if anything, it's too peaceful. And considering how expansive this farmland is, it's weird that we haven't seen a single piece of agricultural machinery. The buildings here seem a little crude too. Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like them before, though I guess you could say they kind of look like collective housing.
You mean like an apartment building?
That's right, although I'm not sure a building is the right word for that, structure. All that ground they leveled in is still living in holes. It's like something out of the Stone Age. Maybe civilization never really developed in this world. Oh, there's some people headed this way. Shall we try talking to them?
Yes, but do be careful. I doubt they pose any threat to us. But we cannot afford being seen as a threat either. Hello. What the? Who the hell are these people? And what are they doing in our field?
Look at their weird clothes. Do you think they might be foreigners?
A foreigner's here? Does that mean they came from that strange storm then? Well, hurry up and call the supervisor. Maybe he'll know what to do.
Oh, phew. At least the translators seem to be working fine. According to our linguistic analysis, they're speaking Middle Chinese, a language that predates the Song Dynasty. Conversation is good. Starting point, however, we have frightened them. This pattern is not good.
Hey, did you really see foreigners? Yeah, they're right over here. See for yourself, supervisor. They just popped up in my field out of nowhere. They were riding around in that weird box. They were really strange clothes. And I think they've got weapons too. Oh crap, I don't like where this is going. Cell, help us out here before things turn violent. Tell them this is all just a big misunderstanding. If Holmes tries to explain, he'll just make things worse.
And what's wrong with my explanations?
We mean you no harm. She talked. If you don't mean any harm, then why'd you show up in the middle of the field just like that? Go on, supervisor. Get rid of them for us before they ruin any more wheat. You got it.
But they've all taken up weapons. And what do we do? Foe.
It seems a rather bare-bones lifestyle has not lent itself to open minds. I'm afraid we'll need to pacify them before we can begin negotiations. It's now really the time for the attached analysis, Holmes. Can't you use charm on them or something?
Gordy's only one of us who can use charm spells. Well, he says he can anyway. And even if he's telling the truth, he's still comfortably holed up inside the border right now.
It'd be best to summon a servant with a powerful innate charm skill. But that would require access to the ley line, which we don't have yet. It would seem we cannot avoid this battle. Fortunately, our opponents should be willing to listen once we get this out of their system. While this would be an ideal situation for my Baritza, I'm afraid I will have to sit this one out.
Alright, you still haven't fully recovered yet. Guess we've got no choice then. Marsh Nezha, go ahead and fight them if that's what they want. Just make sure not to harm any of them. Understood. I also would like to avoid excessive force. I will be careful. Yes, we'll do as great gentlemen do, in the true spirit of Baritza.
Oh jeez. Wait, they're using sticks? Wait, why do the sticks also look like guns? Look, the way they're holding it kind of makes it look like a gun. But I'm pretty sure it's not. Oh man, Nezha. I don't really ever use Nezha much. Mainly because I never had her. Yeah, I kind of like her fight. The way she fights. Looks cool. Actually, I think this is the first time I've ever actually used Nurse now that I think about it. I don't think I've ever had anyone have her on her support. So yeah, that's a first. I see. She got into a fight almost the instant she left the border.
Yes, I'm afraid we ended up in the standoff with the locals. At least we got them to back down for now.
All thanks to your and Nessa's efforts not to harm them. They do appear to understand that our intentions are not violent now. They're currently monitoring us from what I suppose they consider a safe distance. It seems they have their own responsibilities to tend to.
Correct. No signs of reinforcements. We are safe at the moment.
I see. So you managed to avoid provoking them. I'm relieved to hear they're sharp enough to realize we're only lost travelers trying to get our bearings. Although, what about the servants? You said we can summon more once we're able to use the ley line, right?
Da Vinci's outside preparing a summoning circle right now. I think she's running into some kind of trouble, though. Hey guys, I'm setting everything up right now. Just give me a minute to work out the kings. Sure, I ran into a little trouble, but don't worry, it's the kind I'm used to.
Hey, Da Vinci, are you sure it's okay to hook this weird machine up to Marsh's shield? It looks super shady, in fact. It doesn't even look like it was made on Earth.
Alright, that's the booster Shion lent me. Get this, a single one lets you manifest a spirit origin equivalent to 3 servants. She called it a whatchamacallit cell. Unfortunately, they burn out after a single use, but we're not going to be stingy with selling Gordy's lives at stake. Alright, now we just stand by in its base state. As soon as we get a response from the servant side, I'll kick it to its excited state so we can start the summoning.
So who are we gonna get?
There we go. Now it's just a matter of time. As long as the servant has some connection to you, Cell, I'm sure they'll answer to summon, Lostbelt or not.
I see. Well done, technical advisor. In that case, you can start by summoning a skilled caster capable of brainwashing these barbarians en masse. This is an emergency and an urgent one at that. We need to start making progress post-haste.
My phone.
Are you alright with that course of action, Miss Cell? I'm not a fan of mass brainwashing, but either Director, let's just calm down. Calm down? How can I calm down when we'll be dead in a matter of days? Have you forgotten this concerns you too? Yes, but this isn't no reason to panic. We have 7 days. Isn't there a game called 7 Days to Die? I think there is. It's a zombie game, right? Regardless, the summoning will take time. It will be in our best interest to negotiate while that proceeds. Sometimes, Mr. Godolph, there is something to be said for not letting sleeping dogs lie. Alright then, who's going to lead these amicable negotiations? Cell already tried and failed, remember? Technically, I didn't try. They were startled. They wouldn't let me speak. So I could try. Where are we going to find an angel with a smile cherubic enough to win over these barbarians? This, huh? You know someone from the land? Oh wait, Da Vinci. Yep, Da Vinci. It's Da Vinci.
That's right, we're just poor helpless travelers who lost our way.
Oh, you poor thing. That must have been so hard.
We didn't mean to ruin your field. I promise. Do you think you can forgive us?
Oh, don't worry about that. We can always tell it again. Hell, just getting to talk to such a pretty girl as you kind of makes me want to till the field again more than ever. Uh-huh. You'll be tilling your field all night, alright? Oh boy.
Bo! Da Vinci really is a force to be reckoned with. And she's not technically lying, but she's not exactly being truthful either.
She's a demon with the face of an angel. Still, I can understand.
Let's look at those men falling all over themselves. That outsider's got them twisted around her little finger. How can he possibly trust any of those foreigners after the beating they gave those poor supervisors?
Aha! I do beg your pardon about that, madam. Please allow me to apologize for trampling on your field as well. I only hope you can believe me when I say that we truly do not want anything more than to resolve this matter peacefully. Unfortunately, the truth is that we have lost our way, and are uncertain as to where we are. I'm so terribly sorry to impose, but could you please tell us about this place? You are our only hope.
Well, we are? Well then, I suppose we, ought to step up. True. I mean, if a man this handsome needs our help, the least we can do is to hear him outright. Well,
Holmes has his looks, if nothing else. You'd think that getup would raise more suspicion, but oh well.
I agreed. I do not know why we fought earlier. Well, the important thing is that we've reached a peaceful resolution.
It looks like they were all just scared more than malicious. They seem to be a good people at heart. Yeah, for now. By the way, Da Vinci, what was the trouble you ran into with the spirit origin graph earlier?
An excellent question, Holmes. Glad to see you're paying attention to the important bits.
What? I thought you'd already resolved the issue with the summoning servants.
Less resolved and more worked around. I still don't know what the problem really was. This last spell is nothing like either Russia or Scandinavia. I tried using the ley line here to connect to this last spell Stone of Heroes, but I didn't get any response.
None whatsoever.
There is nothing wrong with the equipment, so what's the problem is, it has something to do with this world. Granted, the odds were always low that a heroic spirit from this last belt is going to be good to help us, so I wasn't counting on that. But it's still odd that there'd be no answer at all, right, Holmes?
Indeed.
So I would just drop that idea and switch back to trying to summon from Caldea's spirit origin graph. Now we're just waiting for heroic spirit to respond to our call. In fishing terms, we bait our hook and cast our line. All there is for us to do now is to be patient. What could be going on, Senpai?
I have no idea. Maybe it means there's no one there.
Honestly, though my genius once again carried the day, I really don't know what's happened there. A foul. What I do know is that the connection to the Throne of Heroes is just that, a connection, and it doesn't exist in the Lostbelt's ley line. It could also be that the definition of what a heroic spirit is doesn't match this Lostbelt's definition of heroic spirit.
And what exactly do you mean by that? This is a fascinating phenomenon, one that no doubt gets to the heart of this Lostbelt's true nature. But right now, we have nothing more than speculation. We'll need to collect more evidence before we can begin drawing any conclusions.
Oh, that sounds to me like you already have a pretty good idea of what's going on, Holmes.
I do have a hypothesis, but a good detective only shares their deductions once they are supported by clear and undeniable evidence. Right, now we're fighting Lancers. So at least we can do a little bit more with Nessa. To begin this quest, please set one of your own servants and one support servant. I need that summoning circle stat. The air is so clean here.
It is, isn't it? It feels like forever since I was last able to breathe this easily. Since in the last belts, the border was the only safe place we could go. Oh, I almost forgot we have the Caldea base now, too. Anyway, being surrounded by a natural landscape like this really feels like... Huh? What's up with that up in the sky above us, Senpai?
Looks like some kind of streak.
I didn't notice it during the night. Well, that's definitely strange, right?
Yeah.
I guess it must be normal here. But some of the local seems to be taking any notice of it. Da Vinci still has them all practically enthralled. So hey, what's the name of this era?
Era? Well, what's that?
Oh, I was mostly just wondering what year it was. Well, I'm turning 22 this year. We all started working when we turned 5. I've planted these fields 17 times now, so that adds up, right? Thanks. I was thinking more along the lines of a calendar, though. It's time to plant seeds and harvest the last crops, of course. You can tell by the moon you see. Let's try this then. Who's the foremost leader in the world right now? Well, that'd be most glorious and majestic heavenly emperor, of course. And what is this emperor's name? Name? Why, most glorious and majestic heavenly emperor, of course. You might as well ask me what the sun and the moon are called. The name's right there. Well, where might we find this emperor then? In the capital. Where else? And where's that? They say it's way, way off in that direction. Have you ever been there? Me? Why would I ever go there? We only worship from afar with gratitude. None of us would exist without most glorious and majestic heavenly emperor, blessing after all. Uh-huh. Huh? What's up, Marsh? Senpai, you smell that? Are you talking about my eau de cologne? I did switch to more wild American brand after we got here. No, I don't mean that. It's less of a human scent and more beastly. It's peasants, no mistake. Bloodthirsty creatures are headed this way. What is that thing? There's another one over there. What the? Those are Krishad, like we saw in Russia. What are they doing here? We can figure that out later, Da Vinci. Right now, we need to evacuate the villages. Yeah, there's a Krishad, alright. So, why are they reusing the Krishad? Why? I mean, hey, that just means that eventually I'm gonna get to the point where I just skip these fights again and go straight to the story. I don't know, man. Is it funner watching me do the fights in the story or just the story? Because eventually all fights tend to be the same. Then I just start getting silent doing some of them. I need to concentrate on what I'm actually doing. Buff yourself up. That's a selfish buff. I'm still calling it that. I still say no that Mosh got completely selfish the moment that she got her new Ortonax. The moment she got that Ortonax, she started becoming more selfish. So sad. She used to buff up everyone, and I should have really used her next phantasm. It should be fine now. Okay, Noble Phantasm up. Nessa, damage up. Go full on attack mode. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna get a crit. I wouldn't have used all of your... God dang it, man. God dang it. I know that she was gonna get a crit. I wouldn't have attacked with all of them. Oh well. Bye, Krishad B. I am wondering though, are there actually new enemies? And if they are, there are, which there should be technically. What are they gonna look like? I'm really interested to find out. Hostiles eliminated, that's dead. Those were from the Russian Lostbelt. I can't believe we're seeing creatures from an entirely different Lostbelt here. This is too bizarre to be a coincidence. You there, have you ever seen creatures like this before? No way, I've never seen a monster like that in my life. Me neither. The worst things that we've seen until now were the wild boars the supervisor used to chase off. If we'd ever run into these things before, we'd probably be dead now. Don't worry, we'll help you for as long as we're here. It's the least we can do to make up for ruining your field, right, Master?
Right, besides, this might have something to do with us. Of course. What are you two saying? We didn't come here to serve this village as bodyguards. No, Miss Kirito is right. Those shots should not be present here. If they have made a sudden appearance, we should investigate it. How are you feeling, Sal? Just a little short of breath. I'm fine. Great, your vital signs are looking good too. So your condition's definitely not too serious just yet. You still gotta keep a close eye on it, of course. But I don't think we need to worry too much about that just now. I must say, you're looking a tad pale, Commander. Are you sure you won't lie down in the command room? Oh, be quiet. I just have a little heartburn from eating too much cake, that's all. I'm in perfectly good health. I'll have you know, if a third-rate mage can handle this poison without a problem, then of course I can too. You need to stop calling me a third-rate mage. The moment you stop doing that is the moment I might start thinking of you differently. Till then, you're still a buffoon. Aside, we're still no closer to getting our bearings here, even with the locals sharing. Our first order of business is gathering as much information as possible. Otherwise, we may have no way of knowing where to even begin. Where to begin? How about we begin with finding Queen Skya, like we originally planned? A fair point. I sincerely doubt if she came here on a lark. Very well then, how do we track her down? We'll never find her, for merely walk around without a plan after all. I mean, she usually finds us. Given that this is Lostbelt, we know that there must be a crypto guarding its tree of emptiness somewhere. And just like in Scandinavia, this Lostbelt's tree doesn't seem to be visible. Yes, that concerns me too. The Russian tree was so large as to be visible from hundreds of kilometers away. I mean, could the little line in the sky be where the tree is? I mean, it could be in another, like, land above the sky. I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible, really. The fact that we cannot see it here means that it must be disguised as it was in Scandinavia. And that, in turn, means this Lostbelt's king understands that it is something to be best kept hidden. Of course, if they so wish, the fairy sage could make a mountain disappear with relative ease. I really don't want to imagine going up against someone like that. We've given everything so far. Indeed, even if we were to capture Queen Skya today, we cannot simply leave this Lostbelt behind. As long as it exists, it remains a threat to pop human history. Sooner or later, we will need to face the crypto responsible for it. All the more reason for us to hurry along with our investigation. You're all being far too generous, agreeing to be this village's bodyguards. I mean, I can understand how scared those villagers would be if the Krishat were to suddenly attack again, but I assure you, Mr. Gordolf, this is all part of our investigation. What was that? It's safe to assume that those hostile creatures are the same type of demonic beasts we fought in Russia. Think back to when we first learned about them. The Krishat are demonic beasts that originated in the Russian Lostbelt, and possess numerous characteristics that let them survive in this frigid environment. But this Lostbelt is far too warm for such creatures. Oh, now I get it. That's why Marsh and Cell agreed to help. Right, this has everything to do with us. The fact that those creatures showed up in different Lostbelt can only mean that someone brought them here. Indeed, someone who can come and go between Lostbelts as they please. Since we can, of course, eliminate ourselves as suspects, that only leaves one possibility. Tamama Vici Queen Skya. Precisely. A most astute interjection, Miss Cell. Watson would have been proud. Finding Queen Skya remains our top priority, but at the moment we have far too little information to act on. If anything, the Krishat appearance is our only real lead so far. We cannot afford to overlook it. Hey, can I just say something? I sent out a surveillance drone toward the capital and I discovered something interesting. Oh, was there actually a city out that way?
I tried zooming in and cleaning up the long-range footage as best I could, and well, it's easier if you just take a look.
Whoa. What the hell?
For once, I'm genuinely at a loss for words. So much for civilization never developing here. If they've got the science and engineering know-how to build a metropolis like this, then they've come way farther technologically than we thought. I mean, there's not a single support column holding this thing up, so they obviously figured out how to make it float. And since it's clearly no giant air platters or the like, I've got to wonder just how the hell they are making something like that heavy float.
Perhaps magecraft is used openly here. Either that, or they really have advanced scientifically to the point where they can control gravity. In the latter case, they would be well prepared ahead of pop human history, at least in terms of technology.
Oh, and while I was at it, I grabbed some footage of that weird, perfectly straight line in the sky, too. Here it is at max magnification.
What is this thing?
Well, for starters, it's about 2,000 kilometers above us, so it's just barely in low orbit. By my estimate, it's more than 5 kilometers wide. That's not even the best part. It stretches along the entire observable sky of the Lostbelt. Wow.
Then how come we couldn't see it before we entered this Lostbelt? If it's 2,000 kilometers up, it's gotta put it above the storm clouds, right?
That must mean that the Lostbelt's borders prevent anything from within from being seen, storm or no. Anything built during this history, no matter how big it might be, is impossible to observe from the outside. Forget measuring size and mass. From the outside, there's no way to even know it exists at all. Even once we can observe it, I have no idea what it is or what it's for. If the people of this world built it themselves, that raises even more questions.
I'll say, how can something like that exist when life in this farming village is so primitive?
I kept flying the drone around in every direction, but I didn't see any other buildings or structures even remotely close to the scope of the capital. East, west, north, south, there was nothing but fields everywhere I looked.
Seriously, man, I can tell this place is way ahead of pop human history or way behind it. Whatever it is taking place here, it's no doubt stems from the wildest deviation from pop human history. Da Vinci, I trust you can determine the capital's latitude and longitude from here. What happens when you map it to the China we know? Is there a record of a capital city dating back to a well-known dynasty there?
Ah, you already figured that out? I wanted to keep you on suspense a little longer.
I can certainly understand the desire for a dramatic reveal of your information. Under the present circumstances, however, I'm afraid we are reliant on you for all such inquiries, so please give us your information now.
Yeah, you made your point. Based on its distance from its present location, it corresponds probably in history to the Shenyang Prefecture. Shenyang, isn't that?
Indeed. It dates back to the Qin dynasty. Qin? That was before the Three Kingdoms era, wasn't it? Does that mean it even predates Zhang Yu and Liu Bang?
That's right, the Qin dynasty was a major empire around 200 BC. It's known for being the dynasty of China's first emperor. It was the country ruled by the great Qin Shi Huang. So that is Chaldea, your enemy. Yes, but not only are they my sworn enemy, they also command a threat to the safety of your empire. Namely, heroic spirits. We see. Indeed, we were quite surprised when you first told us of them. You said this massacre summoned an army of great heroes in the past, correct? We find this difficult to credit indeed. We are certain you would not lie to us. But how can a few mere soldiers ever hope to overturn our eternal reign? We cannot even imagine the possibility. You underestimate your experience at your peril. Those whose souls are offered to the counterforce are given tremendous power to ensure the continuation of humanity. Trust me when I say that a single servant is easily the equivalent of 1,000 ordinary soldiers. So this Alaya you spoke of, You said it is the sum total of human consciousness. This sounds like pure nonsense to us. Is this the manner of something you simply accept in your own world? You make an excellent point, Your Imperial Majesty. My world was more chaotic and less complete than yours. It must have been. If something so preposterous as resurrecting dead who have experienced a fight in one's place is considered normal, we cannot help but wonder how a world where such things were necessary to maintain order could have lasted. I must warn you too, Your Imperial Majesty. The Master of Chaldea is an enemy you cannot afford to ignore.
There it goes. Tamamo, Vici, Koya, and Skya. Her ears and her tail are finally out and her outfit is changed. This looks really nice. If she is a servant, which I think she might be, she will never come home. I don't even have original Tamamo. I have Tamamo Cat. That's the only Tamamo I have, and that is sad.
Alright, we had forgotten that you were here from the same world as Akuta Kominskaya. My name is Koyanskaya, Your Imperial Majesty. Do you think you could try to remember this time?
Whoa, hello! I wasn't expecting to see him here. Okay. Watch your tongue when speaking to the Emperor Rich.
No matter. These visitors come from a world beyond our domain. Of course our customs elude them. Thank you, Your Imperial Majesty. I do understand that you may find it rude and presumptuous of me to warn one so omnipotent as you. But the fact is, Chaldea has already brought strange creatures with them that threaten your people's safety.
You lying prick. You're the one who brought them here to put the blame onto us. I still want you.
This poses quite a problem for your quarantine as well. Surely you don't want them to get away with this,
So they're under quarantine as well, huh? Well, what do you know? It even affects this world.
Please, Your Imperial Majesty, if we would merely wait for them to reveal their true barbaric nature, it will be too late. If it is so important to you, then why have you not done something about it yourself? You command these 7 puppets as well, do you not? Yes I do. If you would forgive me for disturbing your eternal paradise, I can summon one right now. Very well, show us exactly what these warriors from another world are capable of. Yes, Your Imperial Majesty. This Emperor is much more laid back than I thought. I expected a bit more eagerness to take down the threats to their empire. I had hoped for the same. Nothing ever seems to go as planned with the Emperor. But oh well, this isn't going to change. Well, so you ended up having to do all the work in consequence. I do hope it won't take you too long to finish them off. Is that all you had to say for yourself after all the trouble you've caused? Please don't glare at me like that, Akuta. You're gonna make me cry. We're on the same side in all of this.
Yet it's your fault we came here in the first place.
Besides, as the Master of Chaldea, every cryptist, one enemy. Of course, you could have lured her to any of the other territories, and any of them would have made sure to finish her off. I would go so far as to say any one of them would be a better pick for this kind of work than me. So why did you have to bring them to China? They're only here because they were following you, right? Thank you so much for that. Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Akuta. I really thought you would be the best fit for the job, seeing how you're so good at defense and all. You see, I actually tried to assassinate her as a favor to Beryl. But I'm afraid things didn't go exactly as planned. See, the poison I used is called Zhan Shui Ming Rai, and... well, I don't suppose you already know what it is, do you? You are unbelievable. So you do know about it. You're one smart cookie, aren't you? In that case, you can see where this is going right, including what they'll try to do to find an antidote. Koyanskaya, did you do this on purpose? No, I didn't. This time I only had about 10% of a plan. That's why I wasted no time coming to warn you, Akuta. I wanted to take responsibility, see? I mean, Caldea's got the world's greatest inventor and greatest detective on their side now, right? I knew it wouldn't take them long at all to figure out where the poison came from. So I thought instead of wasting time trying to sweep this under the rug, it would be better to fortify our defenses now. So here I am, warning you about the danger and taking responsibility. It's not like you and I are complete strangers, right? So I thought I could help you with getting rid of Caldea. Besides, we're both misanthropic outcasts. It only makes sense for us to join forces, don't you think? True, that much I know we have in common. But that still doesn't explain why you brought those dangerous pets of yours along. Pets perish the thought. They have their dignity, at least as far as wild animals go. So you didn't want them to go around killing people? Of course not. Why would I rob myself of the pleasure of torturing and killing humans? No, they're just doing their best to survive and find food in an environment they're not used to. Don't you find that far more endearing than a bunch of defanged livestock this nation's people? That's not the problem, and you know it. How could you let that demonic beast from another Lostbelt loose here? If the Emperor finds out you're the one responsible for them, you'll find yourself in real trouble. Now that, you might say that's just a part of a lifelong project for me. Don't worry, I promise I won't make any trouble for you. You have your own life's work you've devoted yourself to, don't you, Akuta? So I think we'll both be happier if we just stay out of each other's way. Fine. What's done is done, after all. There's no way I'm letting Caldea mess up my nice, stable Lostbelt. Don't you dare go easy on him, Saber.
As you wish, Master. I promise I won't let you down.
Huh? When did you summon him? I can tell he's got a beautiful face underneath that mask, too. No fair, Akuta. How come you're the only one who gets a certified hottie working for her? That's not why he's here. Oh, just shut up out your ready, you damned fox.
Uh-huh. Why do I feel like Koyanskaya has some type of plan that involves us taking out all of the Lostbelts? She may say that she wants us to, die, but she's playing the role of the enemy, which technically she probably still is. But she wants us to take out the Lostbelts for a reason I don't know why. Maybe. You never know. I could be wrong, I probably am. But I feel like there's more to her than just what she is currently showing. Alright, so there's 2 in the next part, but with that I'm going to end this first episode of the Lostbelt 3 here. No clue when the Christmas event is coming out. Is there anything on the news? There is nothing at all about Christmas 4. Oh boy. So yeah, we will be going and doing Chapter 2 and maybe Chapter 3. Possibly maybe 4. If they go fast enough for me to be able to do them. If not, then 2 and 3 are most likely what we'll be able to do. And that's still about 10 something episodes, give or take? How many chapters we have? I believe there are 16 chapters in this entire Lostbelt. So that's at least nice knowing I have only that many to do. It's kind of sad because this seems like it's going to be a fun singularity Lostbelt as well. So yeah, either way, till then, see you guys later.